Welcome back to the Buds in the Box YouTube channel. Before we get started on today's topic, make sure you check out our sponsors down below and make sure you enter the jersey giveaway. All you have to do is like, comment, subscribe. Now, the topic of today's video is what the Leafs should do in the offseason. Should they trade Marner? Should they blow up their entire team? Should they stay the same? We want you guys to let us know in the comments. And Jude, do you want to go first?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, there's been a lot of talk, especially right after that game 7. There's just been so much controversy around the Leafs lineup, around the team, around the management, around the coaching, just everything. So I think this is a great time to kind of release something now that everything's died down. So to begin, a lot of talk about Mitchell Marner. As we know, his playoff performance was very subpar this year. So I like to bring into question is, would Marner for Eichel be a good trade? And I know Felly would like to get his opinion into this. So I'm gonna ask that question first, and then I'll tell you my opinions here. So what do you guys think about the Eichel for Marner trade?
Belly?
Yeah, I like, obviously I like Marner as a Leaf. I think like he's a Toronto kid. He's played for the Leafs, and like here's the thing about Marner is like an Eichel. Let's say this was like if it wouldn't be right, the Leafs would need sweetener in that trade. Definitely, it wouldn't go 1-for-1. But in terms of Eichel, he has never had playoff experience. He's been on Buffalo for his entire career, so he's never played a playoff game. So trading Marner for Eichel, saying that Marner's been terrible in the playoffs. Eichel's never played a playoff game, so it's a little bit of a risk. So in that respect, yeah. But again, Marner, I said this in the other video, everyone that's saying trade Marner, trade Matthews, trade Nylander, Tavares, like just people are kind of being outrageous with that stuff. Like in my eyes, it without Marner, there's no 41 goal Matthews, right? Like there's no Rocket Richard Matthews without Marner setting him up play after play, right? So I think there's some crazy number like Marner assisted 50% or like more. The primary assisted like 50% or more of Matthews' goals this year. I think it's more than that actually. So, he's an important part. And like without Marner, how do you get to the playoffs? Who knows, right? So, and it's all about chemistry. And obviously, Matthews and Marner have the chemistry. They just haven't shown it in the playoffs. So, I honestly don't think it matters who it is. I think the Leafs will choke in the playoffs. Like it's inevitable at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Eric, did you have anything
Uh,
there?
I I just wanted to say that I definitely agree with Felly. Um, a trade like that would just make no sense. I mean, first of all, you'd have three franchise centers, which I mean, I guess you could move someone to the wing, but it just wouldn't make sense to change someone's position, take that big of a risk. And of course, as Felly said, Eichel has no experience. I think trading someone for more experience, and I'll get more into that in my point, but trading for someone with more playoff experience is really what the Leafs need right now.
Yeah, for sure. That is a great point. But I mean, in that sense, I mean, it's more the trade wouldn't be for it would be more for the 1-for-1 aspect of it type thing. Well, obviously we'd have to bring in picks, but I said like more for player to shake up the Toronto Maple Leafs lineup because we need something to change in this lineup. Even when it does, as we've seen it change throughout the years, everything's the same. Like Felly just said, it's a curse. There's nothing to it. No one can change my opinion that it's not a curse. There's something with the Toronto Maple Leafs organization. Laugh all you want, think what you want. It's a curse. There's nothing to it. Even my parents say, and they know best. So that's at that point. And then also I wanted to branch off that with maybe you could throw in other things. Maybe we let Riley walk. We pick up Seth Jones. You never know. Those are two very different defensemen. Jones is a big guy. He is offensively like he's a good two-way defenseman, but he blocks shots and he gets down. I feel like that'd be a great pairing. but that would be another kind of shake the lineup type thing. And because like it's not that Riley's a bad player, it's that like why does nothing work for us more type of trade, so or pickup should I say. But we'll probably get into other videos about the current Leafs lineup, like in terms of Hyman and stuff. But for right now, I think you know what, maybe shaking up the lineup with that trade and letting Riley walk and picking up Jones. You never know. You guys go ahead.
I mean, the thing is, like over the last 54 years since the last time they won the Stanley Cup, they've had every kind of lineup you can think of, right? Like they've had grinders, like they've had hardworking lineups, they've had the superstars. They've literally had every sort of lineup you could think of, and somehow it all gets damaged like that. I don't know if you guys remember this, or have seen a video of this, but I don't know when it was, but when Foligno's dad was on the Leafs, one of those years, and then they were in the semis, I think, and they were playing the Kings.
The Gretzky penalty?
And Gretzky high-sticked someone, didn't get a penalty, and then scored in overtime or whatever it was. I don't know the exact thing, but it's right. Like that. How does the ref not, it's just like some sort of curse. It feels
that was Gretzky though. So
yeah, but
they would be lenient.
So there you go. Like they have a team that can do it, and then something like that happens, right? Or it's just like going.
They probably would have lost to Montreal because Wall was on Montreal that year. So
yeah, well, so changing the lineup, at this rate, there's nothing you can do. I mean, change the lineup all you want. Like Riley for Jones is going to be that much of a difference. I don't know. Eichel for Marner. I feel like Marner just sets up Matthews more than Eichel would. And then someone would have to try to switch to the wing, and it would just be a whole thing. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we're wrapping this video up and it's my turn to say my opinion, I just wanted to say two things. One, for the Leafs to make it far in the playoffs, they have to be a playoff team, right? They have to get players that are going to perform well in the playoffs, like Montreal has. They're not a good regular season team, but once they get to the playoffs, they're able to beat us. They're able to beat the Jets, and you can't even deny that because they're beating us and the Jets. Right?
Okay, but I can, because I just want to be quite frank with you here. And we picked up Foligno, we picked up Simmons. Those are two unbelievable playoff players. They're gritty, they dig deep, and they're what you want in the playoffs. They big hits, big fights, big good battles in the corners. They come out of them normally, right? Those type of players, and I can go on with that list. Like Thornton, probably now that he's old, he's a little more brittle. But that being said, Mark Bergevin built that team around the guy between the pipes, and whatever goes is whatever that guy between the pipes does. I don't care if it's us in front of him, if it's literally a bunch of dudes that just want to that are just hockey players, or if it's literally an all-star team in front of Carey Price. Nothing matters except for his gameplay, and that showed because he had a couple rough games and we capitalized on them, and then he just turned into a different breed, and now Montreal is on a 6 games. It's like I think they're on a 5-game winning streak right now, as of 6. Right now. And there's no one except for him. 6 games. So yeah, I was right. I could see you counting in your head there, but I think that team is built around anybody else except for Carey Price.
Yeah, you're completely right. And it goes from the bottom up. Price is a player that plays well in the playoffs. We saw that last year in the bubble. We're seeing it this year, and everyone just follows. Right. That's kind of my point. And I mean, you don't look at Montreal as a good team, but they've stepped it up this year in the playoffs. And you clearly saw that because they outplayed the Leafs those last 3 games, and they've outplayed the Jets every single game in the series so far. Right. And that's kind of, into my next point. You got to change the coaching's mentality. You don't have to change the coach. You have to change the mentality. Sheldon Keefe has to get the players to hit more, be more rough on the puck. And we've tried that, but it just hasn't worked. Right. As much as I want to say that Don Cherry is wrong, he's somewhat right. Not the Campbell Cocky thing, but you look at all the teams that are in the playoffs right now, they have skill and they can hit. right? So you need someone like that. Like I always tell these guys, Alex Tuck, perfect player. He steps up in the playoffs. He's not the best regular season player, but he steps up in the playoffs and he can hit, right? So guys like that, that's who the Leafs need, right? Guys like Wayne Simmons, they can't just put like Nick Foligno, right? They need people who can step up in the playoffs. And fair enough, Nick Foligno, he has that grit. He has somewhat of playoff experience, but he's old, and the only thing on his resume is, that he swept the Tampa Bay Lightning and got swept in the next round.
He was injured when they picked him up too.
Exactly.
So it's just like this. It's just like there's so much going on behind the scenes that we have no clue what it is. And obviously sometimes we'll say things like a little irrationally, but nobody really knows what's happening. What is Dubas thinking? You can't change this team, right? Like you just can't. They're just too good. They're just too good, right? So like changing a key piece like Marner would just be looking at it. It would just be stupid of him, right? And he's thinking of it value-wise because he literally is a robot and only thinks with numbers. But like he's thinking of it like, okay, Marner's worth this, and he's shooting percentage is this and this and this and this. And he's way more valuable than anyone in the league to him. Like, so it's all like a number game to Dubas. I think like that's the issue is Dubas is a little too robotic in terms of creating a team. It's all about numbers and percentages and stuff like that, which obviously sometimes is good, but like a lot of the time it's you got to build a team. Like you got to find a guy with a bit of heart. Jude's gone. You got to find some guys with like some heart and whatever to make it. Like this guy Chandler Stevenson is the first line center. Chandler Stevenson, and he's in the second round, like playing against the Avalanche like a god. Who is that? Nobody knows who that guy is until like this year, right? Nobody picked that guy up in fantasy. So it's like you gotta find guys, gems, like diamonds in the rough like that. And Dubas is just way too focused on numbers and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's a perfect place to stop, guys. Let us know what you think in the comments below. This has been the Buds in the Box. Thanks for watching. Click that like and subscribe button. Bye for now.